So today we have a crazy topic because Epic Games, who are the makers of Fortnite, just got fined $520 million for two things. One thing is violating the children's privacy law, and the other one is because they tricked users into making unwanted purchases. And this one is also known as illegal dark patterns. Now that sounds pretty crazy, doesn't it?
What are these dark patterns, though? That's actually
Yeah,
interesting.
exactly. We're going to be talking about all of this during today's podcast. So, sit back, grab some, no, not popcorn. You don't grab popcorn when you watch
Oh,
podcasts. Just grab some food, a drink, and we're going to be talking about it. So, Epic Games, they got fined $520 million, $275 million for the children's law, and 245 million for the dark patterns thing, right? And you may be thinking that that is a lot of money, right? Like that is
it
game
is.
changing money. And sure, it is a lot of money. But if you actually take into consideration how much Fortnite makes, we're going to be looking at all of this later, of course. It's really not that much. So Epic actually decides that they're just gonna pay it. Like they straight up settled, and if you can just take the website for it, for the settlement, they straight up said that we're gonna pay it. They basically said, we didn't mean to do this. Basically the standard talk that anyone does to seem innocent and to be like, yeah, we didn't really want to do this, but it just happened. So if you can zoom in a little bit, so I can
Yeah.
also read it. Yeah, there you go. Epic has reached a settlement with the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, and they'll just pay both of it, right? Like, no issues, nothing, no lawsuit. They're just straight up paying it. And they are actually changing stuff as well. They are mentioning concrete changes, which I do like from Epic, because let's actually start to explain why they got fined, right? And for that one, there's another website from IGN. I'm not sure if it's necessary, or I can just explain it as well. They have to pay the children's privacy law for multiple reasons. Yeah, I'm just gonna explain all
What?
of them.
What?
First of
What is
all,
this? What is this children's law? So, like, what did they
it's
violate?
COPPA. It's called
Ah,
COPPA. YouTube also got, if you remember, YouTube also got fined by the COPPA law, which is the children's privacy law, because YouTube was gathering data from children and advertising, on children. That's why now there's YouTube for kids in
oh,
certain videos. See that?
oh, oh. Okay,
Exactly.
okay, okay.
So Fortnite has the same right now. Yeah, we have nothing to do on this website anymore.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, first of all, Fortnite was also collecting data from children under 13 years old. They were collecting their data, and children could just, click on that little button, like, yeah, I agree to give you my data. I'm a child. I'm 9 years old. I agree. No parental consent. Nothing. But this is not it. Fortnite also had another issue where, if you hop into a Fortnite game, voice chat turns on. You can talk with people. You can literally talk with
Instantly.
people instantly. Now you can imagine how this is problematic if a 9-year-old
Of
child can
course.
talk with a 20-year-old, with a 30-year-old, with a 40-year-old. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
You
your
can
mama
instantly
jokes will
see.
start.
But like, can you imagine if you have like a 40-year-old person who's like a real asshole? He gets into a lobby, he hears like a squeaky voice. It's a kid, 10 years old. He can talk with him. This can go wrong. This is horrible. This should not be allowed. So in 2017, there were Epic Games employees that were really, really suggesting heavily to turn this off, like to automatically turn this off, and you would have to turn it on yourself. Because back in the days, you could not even turn it off. I don't know why, but it was crazy. But then they added it that you could turn it off. But it was really obnoxious to find. So even though you could turn it off, it was really, really hard to find. So of course, these little children are not going to be looking into the settings too far to try and, of course not. They're going to have the voice chat turned on.
That's actually the first game I've heard that has the voice chat on by default. All
Yeah,
of the games have the
Fortnite.
by default off, and then you have to go, as you say, to the settings, find it where it is, and then, I mean, most probably the child is not gonna do that, so they're not gonna use it. So it makes sense, but why would they do that? So,
Yeah, and these children under 13, they often got harassed. And I can see why, right? Like if you have an older person who can't think straight, which are a lot of people, of course,
wait,
and they get into a lobby and some kid that's 10 years old is ruining the game. Of course they're just gaming, but some people are tryhards in games. They're gonna start to insult this little kid.
So hold on. What does it have to do with dark practices? Are we talking about
Oh, that's
sexual
a separate
harassment?
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a separate thing.
Okay.
That's
So
a
this
those dark patterns are something else with related to unwanted
so
purchases.
this is
Yeah.
some kind of sexual harassment lawsuit against
Yeah, but
children.
no, what I mean is, no, this is just a lawsuit that children are not, were not safe. They were, they were not safe playing Fortnite. They were not 100% safe because of these things. And I get it. And Epic actually decided to change it. So if we actually go back to the Epic website, all the way on the bottom, it shows exactly what changes they're making. So if you can go back to that Epic settlement, so we can show exactly what they did. Um, Let me see. Yeah, there you go. The parental controls. You have to scroll all the way down. Yeah, there you go. The parental controls. So some of the features for younger players and their parents include parental controls that are easily accessible in the main lobby and Epic account portal. Parental controls that include the option to require a PIN to send a friend request, enable parents to authorize purchases before they are made. So there are parental controls that a kid cannot just buy anything. And if someone wants to add you and you are a kid, the parents have to accept it with the PIN. A daily spending limit, which I don't think was going to do much, to be honest.
Daily spending limit.
Yeah. And granular, what is that? Granular privacy options for chat, which
Oh,
includes everybody, friends and teammates, friends only
this
or nobody.
this makes total sense. So basically, you can. So if a parent makes the parent control setting, that they can only add friends with the pin, then they can also make this makes sense. They can only make it that you can use voice chat with your friends only. So they don't totally turn it off. They just are able to use it with their friends. I mean, it makes sense to me. Yeah.
But like I have a small problem with all of this. We're first gonna read through them and then I'll talk about the small problem. Cabined accounts that provide a tailored experience that is basically they're making it easy for the parents to have parental control. And then the last one, settings that default to the highest privacy options for players under the age of 18, including voice and text chat defaulting to nobody. So my question here, and I was reading through stuff and I couldn't find an answer to this. How the hell will Epic know if you're actually under 18 years old?
I
Because like you can
mean,
enter. Yeah.
it's a controversial topic. Basically, the biggest problem in the games is that, like, even if you go to Steam, it has this page that says verify your age. Just put in your age.
Click on a button.
Yeah, click on a button.
I mean, hell, you
So,
can even go on. You can even go on certain websites and you can just click on boom. I'm older than 18. You can do it everywhere, everywhere. Like
So-
me as a little kid always abused these things.
Yeah, me too.
Everywhere you just click on it. That's it. I never had to actually prove that I'm over 18 or over 18 years old. Never. So that's my issue with this. Like, is this really gonna change everything? Because just let me talk about this for a second. Because you have parents that understand these things, right? Like people like us. If I get kids, I understand. If they play games, these are the things that are gonna happen. But if you have parents
Yes.
now that lived in the older ages with no phones, nothing. They don't know what's going on. They may think their children are just playing innocent games. So what happens if a kid that's 12 years old hops into Fortnite, clicks I'm older than 18 years old because whatever, right? And is still able to hop into the voice chat? I don't see a solution for that.
the only solution would be, the only solution would be that the parent knows about those settings, can go inside those settings, and can change them. Otherwise, the kid, as you say, can just put it like, doesn't matter what kind of age he wants.
Exactly.
The other way actually is, like how they verify users is by sending your documents, like official documents.
Actual documents, yeah.
But are you are you gonna send an actual document to Fortnite for a game? Will you ever do that?
No, of
No,
course not.
like no. I'm talking about you as a kid, not as a parent. As a kid, would you
Yeah,
do that?
of course not.
Yeah, no.
I mean, can you even get your documents?
Exactly, exactly. It's
Right?
gonna be hidden somewhere in the house, so you'll never get access to it. So, but then, you see, it's gonna attack the player base. A lot of players won't play it because of now it becomes a cat and mouse game. Do we want to do this, and so on and so forth?
Exactly. So let's talk about the unwanted purchase. We'll get back to this part later. The unwanted purchase, I actually find a little bit more interesting. Because if I had a website that showed exactly what it was. The
FTC?
FTX settlement. Yeah, just give me a second. Yeah, basically, if you can take it, the official FTC website, they actually made an official statement on everything that happened. It's very interesting what these dark patterns are, these illegal dark patterns. You have to scroll down a little bit, and then it shows you illegal dark patterns. Further. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, use dark patterns to trick users into making purchases, right? And this is like you can clearly see what it is about. The company has deployed a variety of dark patterns aimed at getting consumers of all ages to make unintended in-game purchases. This is a big thing, by the way. Like you literally don't want to buy something, but you accidentally buy. That's essentially what they're saying. Fortnite's counterintuitive, inconsistent, and confusing button configuration led players to incur unwanted charges based on the press of a single button. And they even give examples, concrete examples. For example, players could be charged while attempting to wake the game from sleep mode. What?
Wait, what?
You wake the game from sleep mode and you get charged? Really? That is ridiculous. The fact that that is able, because you're literally buying something. You're buying something. And it can happen so easily. While the game was in a loading screen, you could also unintentionally buy something for some reason. Or by pressing an adjacent button while attempting simply to preview an item. So like an item will be on the screen and you just click on one wrong button and you instantly purchased it. I find that ridiculous. Like,
so basically they do not have a confirmation page.
exactly. They had no conversion. You click, boom, bought. And like I've never seen that before.
Nasty.
There should
That's
always
actually
be
nasty.
a confirmation.
That's actually
Exactly.
nasty.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you right here. It happened to me before where I
Really?
click on something. No, not this, but something happened to me. Like I click on something, you know, I want to buy something in a game, and then the confirmation comes up, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to buy it.
Oh.
And that is obviously the reason that they removed it, right? That was obviously the reason that they took that away. Because then you cannot have that second thought. Because you see something, wow, amazing skin, boom, buy. There you go, $20. You can't have that second thought. And the second thought is often going to be the one that you don't regret, right?
It's happened to me a lot of times too. And one of the things I remember the most was for Diablo Immortal I played. That was the only game I
Oh.
spent. I think I spent like $10, not a lot. But
Oh.
you couldn't play the game if you didn't pay money. So you had to pay the money to get, you know, this legendary crests or whatever they're called and so on and so forth. Because if you don't pay them, you're not going to be able to level up fast enough to catch up with people. And that's the reason why this, you know, pay to progress games are really difficult, because you cannot catch up and then you feel behind and then you don't have as much fun. But
Yeah,
the thing
there's not
was,
necessarily. Huh?
the thing was, I wanted to buy a thing for $10, you know, because I really wanted it. You know, I actually wanted to progress fast. But then I saw the price and I was like, am I really gonna play this game like in a month or so? And I was like, no, the answer was no. And I'm like, why would you spend $10 if I'm not gonna play this? And the only reason I didn't buy it because of the confirmation skin. I got to go to confirmation skin, I was like, let me think about it. So yeah, I see that it's a really dark pattern here besides the adjacent buttons.
That's only one thing, by the way. There's more things. So,
more.
you know, these tactics led to hundreds of millions of dollars in unauthorized charges. That's a lot. Like, that is a lot. That amount of money, hundreds of millions of dollars. So that means people were complaining about it. They sent concerns that it's unauthorized, and it's hundreds of millions of dollars. And then the second thing is charged account holders without authorization. This also has to do something with children. Children and other users who play Fortnite can purchase in-game content, right? Like right now, a literal child can buy whatever he wants in the game, such as cosmetics, battle pass, and they can do it with V-Bucks. Up until 2018, Epic allowed children to purchase V-Bucks by simply pressing buttons without requiring any parental control. So I want to tell you how ridiculous this is. If you had Fortnite on a phone, which there was back in the days, you played on your mother's phone, for example, right? Like you played on your mother's phone, you click on a button, you buy V-Bucks for $100. And nothing happens. You bought it. And it gets even crazier, because you may be thinking that, hey, you can just refund it, it's a mistake. Keep watching, because it gets crazier, okay? So that was possible. Huh?
They refused the refunds.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So simply pressing buttons without requiring any parental or card holder action or consent. And then, of course, parents complained that their children had racked up hundreds of dollars in charges before they realized Epic had charged their credit cards without their consent, right? And the FTX has brought similar claims against companies such as Amazon, Apple, and Google. But yeah, we all know these companies get all those types of things. So this next point is, in my opinion, going to be the craziest. Blocked access to purchased content, okay? The FTC alleged alleged that Epic locked the accounts of customers who disputed unauthorized charges. Let me explain this in simple words. A little child bought a skin for $100 or
Oh,
bought
no
V-Bucks for
way.
$100. Okay, so little child bought it for $100, and little child has been playing Fortnite for 2 years. He leveled up his account. This is his account. Mom wants to refund the $100 because child is being a stupid idiot by doing this, but it's a child. Children are idiots. You can't blame him. The mother either doesn't get her money back, or she gets the money back, and the whole account gets blocked. Account gets blocked, kid becomes depressed. Because this is the account that the kid has been playing on for 2 years, 3 years, but now the account gets blocked, and the kid thinks it's his fault.
Not only
It's all
that,
his
you,
fault.
you don't consider the fact that during those 2 years, the kid, I mean the parent, might have been willingly spending $10 per month. Let's say something like this. And then if
And
you spend
how
and then exactly, and then you already like think of it like you would spend $200, willingly, without having unwilling full charges and so on. So this account could have had purchases up to $1,000, and then because a random $100 charge came up, and then you just canceled it, you would lose access to the previous things you bought also for $1,000.
And it's even worse because the mother is then probably gonna decide, like, okay, you know what? Don't do this anymore. She lost the $100 because she doesn't want to block the account, and that is, of course, an unwanted purchase. $100 is gone. Mother is gonna punish the child by telling him you shouldn't do that, blah blah blah. But she can't actually get the money back because that would take away the whole account. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And Epic even confirmed that this is true. They now mentioned that they're gonna change that system in their official statement. Like now you can actually, you know what? We should take the website there because it is the Epic website, the statement from Epic. If you can go to it, because
Really?
they actually, yeah, they mentioned what changes they're making, and honestly, I like those changes. Let me see. It is
No.
under enhancing Fortnite. Wait, is it? Yeah, under enhancing Fortnite over time, I believe.
Yeah. No enhancing Fortnite over time.
Yeah, and you go down to the no pay to win or to the points. Yeah, there we go. So no pay to win or pay to pro. Yeah, we know that this is just they're mentioning, look at us, we have a great game, and that as well. Okay, so now from the third point, it starts to talk about the changes, right?
No gambling forever.
No gambling. Yeah, they're mentioning that they never
Wild
did
Rift?
gambling. They only. Oh, let's
Something.
not talk about Wild Rift. Oh, please don't get me depressed again. So, a return ticket system. This is new, by the way. There's going to be a return ticket system that enables self-service refunds on eligible digital goods without the need to specify a reason. Eligible digital goods. Now, the question is $100 V-Bucks an eligible digital good? This is not a very concrete solution.
They did not give. I was like, maybe they'll say here, like, there's an X amount.
Of course they won't. They're gonna make it as vague as possible, right?
3 return tickets only.
Every account is given 3 return tickets.
So maximum we can return what 3 times?
Yeah. I do get that.
I know to not
'Cause-
abuse the
yeah,
system, but still.
Exactly, because you can buy a skin, play the skin, enjoy the skin, and return ticket, right? But yeah, let's take a look at what else. The return tickets, you have 3. Instant cancellation of cosmetic purchases made with V-Bucks with a recently extended cancellation window. If you get charged on your credit card, you're not going to see it instantly, right? It comes up like later, the bill. So this doesn't
you
really
see it. No, you
matter.
see it instantly, but you have to check the history of your credit card also. So there is,
Okay.
yeah. So this is fine still.
A hold to purchase mechanic for all in-game purchases in Fortnite. I believe you can click on it, so,
Yeah, I know, but
so
I
it
don't
gets
understand
explained what it is.
says. Oh,
A hold
Literally.
to purchase. There we go. Fortnite now is a hold to purchase
what?
mechanic for. Oh, you have to hold it so you won't click on it unintentionally.
So they still did not bring confirmation page? Oh my god, that's so You are
Ah, come on. But they do have a confirmation to cancel it.
what? No, this is crazy. this is fucked up. This is crazy.
Oh no, it's actually really messed up because you can still buy something in one go, Like you hold it and your emotional self buys it, but then your heart buys it, but your brain cannot. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. So they do. It seems
No,
like
no, no,
they
no, no,
will have
no.
a confirmation.
This is
Or
a confirmation for something. This is the craziest part out of everything. This is a confirmation for your payment method. So basically,
payment
as a
information. Yeah, you're
information.
right.
So basically, me as a parent, I would never want to give my credit card information to my child, right, for an unauthorized purchase. In this case, he or my child would never be able to purchase anything unless he inputs all the credit card data instead of having like one button, click confirm. This and it blows my mind that they did not have this before, an explicit yes or no to they. Oh my, okay, this is the darkest pattern. Like this should be like illegal. Yeah, that they should
Wow.
get sued for this.
Ridiculous. Yeah, and that's why they just settled to pay. So you actually told me something interesting because there's this thing that big companies do with these types of cases. I'm just gonna leave it to you because I think you already know what you're gonna talk about, right?
Yeah, so the thing is, I mean, I think everyone has heard of it already with the Facebook lawsuits, the Instagram. You know, whenever there's a data leak, they get sued for this data leak, and then they
A
agree to.
data leak.
Yeah. As for now, let's go with the data leak, and then they agree to pay this data leak, right? So I mean, it sounds innocent. Why it sounds innocent? Because the data leak happened, they got hacked, and they pay money for it.
It's just a mistake, right? A mistake.
Exactly. And then if I literally look at Facebook losses, it's like all of the like 1.6 billion, like for something like in Ethiopia. For they get lawsuits every day. Don't get confused. They get lawsuits every day, and they even have a budget for it. But what is not?
Wait, what? What do you mean with a budget for it?
They even have a budget for it. They know that okay, they have to spend like 200 million on lawsuits because they expect those lawsuits to come up.
A budget for lawsuits is ridiculous.
Look, another one. 37 million settled Facebook location track suit. So what happens is they share your location. In this case, could be from WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, doesn't matter. They sell this data. They earn like 300 million, much more, like 500 million from it, and they mark it as a data breach. And in this case, what data breach means? Oh, someone hacked our system. We're sorry, we couldn't do anything. And then what happens with this data breach? They get sued. Why they get sued? Because your security was not on par. However, like me as a security engineer, I know they have the top-notch security. And most
because
probably
you do computer science, right? Like you're qualified to talk about
my master's
this.
is computer security systems. That's my master's. I'm working somewhere in security. So the thing is, it's really hard to hack Facebook. Really, really hard. And if you hack them, like it's billions. But the funniest thing is, all of them have a backdoor in them. And what backdoor allows you to do is you give this credential to a company, business, government even, and then they start taking location of your users, so specific demography, take information about what they've been doing. And then when this all of this gets onto the board, like this get leaked, and they're like, oh, unfortunately, we got hacked by a group, I don't know, like anonymous, and then they stole the location of the user. So unfortunate. Like, it was not a mistake.
I have a question. So, Facebook is getting hacked. Like, there are so many companies smaller than Facebook that never really got hacked, right?
Exactly. Like literally every single, like there's so many losses, and you don't hear about these. That's the point. You only hear about the massive ones with the billions of dollars. But every day there's like 90 million, 37 million, 100 million, 50 million.
They just pay it, right? Like because they make so much more.
They make 500 million, and it makes sense business-wise to pay 50 million in fines and make 100 million or 500 million. Sorry. So the question then becomes
is.
exactly why wouldn't Epic do the same thing?
Exactly, I was gonna say the same. why would Epic not do the same? Or did Epic not do the same? Did they not already know that this would happen, but they decided that it's worth it because they're making hundreds of millions? You know, there is a graphic that shows how much they made with Fortnite alone. Do you have it? Because I have it right here. Global revenue generated by Fortnite.
It's Statistica, right?
Yeah, Statista. I put the link in
Statista.
the document.
Oh, this is about 2019 and 18.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, look at this.
5.4 billion.
$5.4 billion. 2019, 3.7 billion. And they also made money in 2017. They also made money in 2020. They made money in 2021 and 22. They probably made over like 10, 15 billion dollars. This number would probably be a couple billion less if they had not done these things, right? Like the unwanted purchases.
Couple of billions? I
But they
think
did
way
it.
more. Way.
They did it. And now they're just paying it the $500 million in fine. And it's funny because the 275 million was for the children's privacy law. We're not going to talk about that one now. 245 million was paid because of the unwanted purchase. 245 million. And now look at their revenue again. 5.4 billion in 2018. Compare that to 245 million. So essentially, they've been using these unwanted purchases for 4 to 5 years, okay? And they only have to pay 245 million because they did this.
Okay,
Now
so
you can see how the Facebook pattern may have been repeated here. And now you can see how potentially in the future, oh, there we go.
so this is for Epic Games in general.
This is Epic Games only.
But it's a still insane data. Look at this. Like, just to the comparison wise, just to show you that in 2018-19, most of the money was coming from Fortnite because Epic Games are making $5.6 billion.
Yeah.
And 5.4 was from Fortnite. The same way with,
Wow.
so
Wait, that makes it even crazier, actually.
exactly. And now if we see 7.6 billion, we already know that most of this coming from
But
where?
that's 2025. That's what they're guessing.
but like the estimating, but like you can see the pattern.
Yeah, I can see what it is. They're growing Epic Games because if you didn't know already, Epic Games is like a games store, like Steam, right? You can buy games on it. Epic Games gets a percentage if you buy the game from it. And as Hrach just explained, if you can go back to that graphic because it's really interesting. Actually, this is all really really interesting, right? In 2018, they only made $200 million from the store, besides Fortnite. But then 2019 is already more. Because if you can go back to the other one, which shows the revenue from Fortnite in 2019, 3.7 from Fortnite, and 4.2 from Epic Games, which means instead of making 200 million from the store, now they made 500 million. The year after, they made even more, and they made even more. It's all growing like this. It's all growing. And now you can clearly see why the 245 million for the unwanted purchase really is nothing. And that's why we really explained the example of Facebook, because we really want you to understand what this all means and that it's not just a fine, like it's not just a mistake. Of course it could be a mistake, but Epic mentioned on their own website, like Epic was very vague. They were like, we didn't intend this. The laws are not changing, but the ways that they're applying these laws are changing. That's literally what Epic said. You can look it up on the website if you want to, but that's literally what they said. They're basically making excuses of how this happened. And oh no, we didn't mean to do this. You definitely meant to do it. Okay, we know it, and we're telling you guys this. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this podcast, make sure you give it a like. It really supports us. You can write suggestions in the comments for future episodes, and of course, your opinion on this topic. If you have an opinion, we read through every single comment on this podcast channel, every single one. We reply to a lot of them as well. So you just let us know in the comments what you think.
And future suggestion videos also could come up with something more. And then we saw that a lot of people wanted about AI and the computer science. And it's a work in progress. Let's say it this way. We are preparing for it. Just
we have good topics coming for sure. Yeah.
But just to say the final things, like, because this one is like a bit shorter. But did you know that Epic Games is owned by our famous loving daddy?
No way.
Oh yeah, it is owned by Tencent. You're right.
I knew it was Tencent. Of course I knew it was Tencent. Why didn't I think of something? Tencent, Jesus.
Tencent ownership of the game.
No way.
So
Tencent already owns 100% of Riot. We talked about it. You need to zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, I will not find where does it say about the percentage. I think they bought it in 2012 here. So oh wait, where is it? Yeah, so they bought in here the League of Legends, blah blah. Yeah, we know that. And then where does it? Wait, what?
And it's not only Wikipedia that's saying it. Like I'm
I
here
said,
watching on other websites, reporting websites, and they're saying it. And Wikipedia basically took it from those websites.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can see so many websites. 40%. Here it says China tells Tencent, 40% owner of Epic Games, and then yeah, tells them what to do. And if you didn't know, of course, China, China owns Tencent. The government, China owns Tencent.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest
So
problem.
essentially,
Activision Blizzard.
China owns, 40% of Fortnite as well.
Like,
China is doing these unwanted purchases as well. This is all, this is a big picture. All of this is a very big picture. And they were gathering children's information. All of this. It's all so much bigger than what it just looks like on a surface level. And that is why I believe Fortnite just straight up settled. They were like, you know what? We're just going to pay. We're just going to pay. That's it. No issues, nothing. We're going to pay. It's okay. And that's it. We continue our day. We do these changes. And hopefully in the future, we don't have to pay anything anymore.
I don't know, but like the takeaway for me is that like if I think about my kids, yeah, I can control them. But if I think about my parents, they don't know how these things work.
Exactly.
They don't know what is going on. They just see, okay, they see he's playing a stupid video game, and then what could happen? What could be the worst thing? He doesn't expect that you can just go and buy like for $200 bit V-Bucks or skins or stuff.
Yeah, but not only that, I can take my aunt as an example because my aunt is like 50 years old or something. She has kids. Like she has a little boy that's 12 years old. He just turned 13. He used to be like 11, 12 years old when this problem happened. He played Roblox.
Wait,
And
what?
in Roblox, yeah. So he played Roblox. He was a kid, and there were similar issues there because you have grown-up people in the chat saying certain things a little kid should not see. His mom didn't know about that until his older sister told his mom about it. She was like, this is not good. This is not good. And then the mom checked it out, and then finally the mom with the sister that turned off the chat. The mom didn't know it. Of course she doesn't know. How is she supposed to know how to do these technology things? These older people barely know how to send a text message on WhatsApp. How are they supposed to know all these functionalities in a game? So that is the issue right now. The fact that there is no default setting. I don't know. It's just still all messed up. It's all still messed up. There needs to be some solution for this because I still feel like children are not safe playing these games. But yeah.
Just to not recap it, but close it up. One last thing I want to say is that the reason people are not going into that direction is because it's not profitable.
Of course.
They're losing revenue. So that's the biggest problem why we are not doing anything in this direction. The parents don't want to invest money into it because they think it's just a video game. And the companies don't want to do it because they're going to lose revenue because of it. And
They
would
wanna
you
make
want
money.
to lose revenue? You never want to lose revenue. Exactly.
So yeah. That is it for the episode then. Thank you guys so much. Oh god, I almost dropped my bottle. That is it for the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe if you watched all the way through. Thank you if you watched all the way through. You're a legend. And yeah, we'll
The
see
legend. Next
you all
next time.
in the next episode. Yeah. Yeah, right. Bye.